Yo! Here's another part of our continuing series we're calling Media Minutes, where we feature a news pro that shares a bit on what they do every day and how they interact with public safety in the field. The intended audiences are Public Safety Information Officers, otherwise known as the PIO.
Hey ho, disaster fans, I'm Kevin Sir, otherwise known as @Rusnivek. This week, we're in Nebraska, hanging out in Lincoln. I'm hanging out with Ruda. Hi, Ruda.
Hello.
Ruda's been awesome and hanging out with us and giving us a few stories here with the Federal Emergency Management Agency about fraud. So, Ruda, I got a couple of questions. Were you born to be a reporter? Is this your jam?
So in school, I was always good at writing. My passion was writing, my passion was creating stories. And I thought this was the best avenue to still be a storyteller, but also make an impact and make some money too. So, so I went into this field in print. I started off writing for a newspaper, and then I switched to the film and the broadcast industry when I realized that I like the technical side of things. I like editing, I like shooting, I like face-to-face interaction. So that's why I decided to go that route.
And what school did you go to? Because a lot of our folks out there want to know what the best J school is and the best place to go. I'm kind of curious to know.
I went to Michigan State University, go green. We have the best journalism program in the Midwest. So I learned from some of the best. I learned from WFAA, longtime reporter Mike Castellucci. He's known for mobile journalism. He's known for creating stories with his iPhone and then editing, and then just being the new generation of working on your feet and being quick with shooting, editing. So I learned from the best, and go green. And if you're a Wolverine fan, then I don't want to talk to you.
Excellent. As a reporter, you interact with a lot of public information officers. What is one trait that you like about a public information officer?
I deal with public information officers every day. So I get to meet a lot of people, and the one thing that really stands out to me is a PIO who is quick, who is really responsive, because we know this job is on deadlines. We know it's very quick. I understand that my requests are, sometimes last minute, but as a PIO, the best thing I could ask for is just to be timely and to respond quickly and just to work efficiently and work together.
That's an excellent point. Being very timely and getting back to you and not leaving you on red is a good thing. So then that also begs the question then, because we are interacting with you a lot and trying to get you the most up-to-date information. What's your response to on the record versus off the record? Or is there like another way to describe it? I'm not quite sure. Is there truly an off the record conversation?
Yes, so on the record, off the record is actually a really big deal. This whole industry is based on relationships that you make with people and your reputation as a reporter. Are you truthful? Are you honest? If you are speaking with somebody off the record, it is your duty as a reporter to take that information, filter it, but not portray it out to the public if that's what they want. Because you want that source to come to you with that information that inside you know what's going on and you're not going to tell the public, but maybe later that information can be used. So off the record is key to keep it off the record. You never want to be that reporter that says, hey, this is off the record, and then you go on TV and you say that your reputation is now damaged. You have now ruined relationships, and that is killer if you are a reporter.
Yeah. Well, we definitely want to remain professional and try to set some standardization, but across the country there is really no standard. So establishing a good relationship before helps kind of that whole process. In regards to everything as a public information officer, we're dealing with you all the time, and so we want to kind of rapid fire ask you a bunch of questions about media, social media, and how we as PIOs are perceived and how we share information with you folks. So I got a bunch of questions to ask you rapid fire. Ready to go? So are you a Twitter or Facebook?
Twitter.
Why?
It's quicker, it's more efficient in my opinion, and it handles the younger generation, which I pull towards.
I dig it. I also love Twitter too. So along that same line, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, AOL, Instant Messenger, ICQ. Like, what's your response to that?
MySpace.
I'm just saying, it's still around.
Out of all the socials, I will probably still stick to Twitter and maybe Instagram, because visual storytelling is also huge. And now with IGTV, people can go in and a little television, watch stories, see pictures. Everyone is visual. So I believe that IGTV could really take off. Twitter, again, short tweets that get to the point. People are short-minded these days. They want to see a couple sentences, get it through their head. If you provide a link to a longer piece, then that's what they like to see as well. I see Facebook rants. I see people arguing in the comments. So I like efficient social media and straight to the point.
I dig it. So, are you in Instagram Stories and Instagram TV? Is that the, or are you Snapchat?
So maybe Snapchat for my more personal use, but Instagram Stories and IGTV for my professional use. I noticed Snapchat. I mean, I've had my Snapchat for a really long time now, so that's not my professional page at all. I'm posting like my food. I'm posting, my pizza before I eat it. So that's not really curated to the mass public.
Totally.
But on Instagram, I'll go on my story, and I've interviewed a lot of the presidential candidates this candidate season, and I put their answers to a lot of questions that people have on my story, and
Nice.
people see that and they really take it in. So professional Instagram, personal Snapchat.
Got it. So, in that same line of trying to figure out how to contact you, is it cell phone, like a call, or text message?
Definitely a call, because it's
Interesting.
A text-
That's totally interesting, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah. So a text can get maybe lost in the text messages. Also, if I'm working on something and I just take a call, I'm taking notes. You want to meet at 6 a.m.? Okay, let's meet at 6 a.m. I'm working. But text can kind of, you can put your phone away. You can start working on something else. I noticed myself, I just missed a text, 45 minutes ago. I forgot to get back to this person. So phone call first, and then if we establish is text good with you, then I know that we're going to start texting about the event we're going to or a specific situation. Then I can move over to text, but it's more efficient to call first.
Man, for the younger generation, I assume that you would have gravitated to text. So
I know, you can snap me.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So, in that same line, are you a text message or DM?
Text message. I Facebook direct message some sources if I need to get to them, but if I don't have their number. I'll DM if it's the last resort, in the sense if I don't have their number, I'm messaging them on Twitter and Facebook, which has worked. I've reached out to a couple sources and it's worked. But then sometimes you message and then 7 years later they're like, oh hey, saw your message. And I'm like, that's interesting.
A little too late for that.
Too late.
All right, so the final question, and we're going to want to know,
Okay.
as a social media user, as a reporter,
Yes.
hashtags are incredibly important for
Yes.
your story.
Hashtag.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, it's hashtag.
Hashtag.
So, what is your favorite hashtag?
Favorite hashtag? Maybe hashtag Throwback Thursday, because I
TBT?
love posting a little throwback. If I knew I looked good, if I went somewhere cool that I wanted everyone to know. So maybe Throwback Thursday, and then there's always funny ones too that I like to partake in, but definitely Throwback Thursday.
I like dad jokes. I think that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. The memes, all
Yes,
the memes,
totally
they're hilarious.
memes.
Yeah.
Are you a meme or are you a GIF? Like, I'm kind of curious to know now that you brought that up.
Memes. Oh my gosh, there's some funny memes out there, and I will send them to my friends. I think it's like the best form of entertainment for me, because it's just like there, and I'm like, this is hilarious. But GIFs are cool too.
Outstanding. So I'm glad that you're able to hang out with us for a little bit. Really appreciate your time. If people wanted to follow you and see what you were reporting on and what's happening, where could they find you?
So I'm on all the socials like we talked about, but my handle for everything is @Ruta, RUTA, my last name ULCINAITE, Ulcinaite.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So reporting live from Nebraska, hanging out with Ruta here at Disaster Recovery at one of our big joint field offices. We'll catch you soon, folks. See ya.
Bye.